Good evening and welcome to Going for Two. This is the only YouTube podcast in human recorded history to feature a male and female host, drinking our way through the important topics of the day, as long as they touch the football world, and not in that way. I am Zach Law, and this is Sharona Super Duper Fragilistic Expialidocious. Tonight, we bring back the People's Champ, the MVP of IDP, the something that robs the streaming of streaming, Mike Waller, to talk with us again. Mike, how are you doing? I hear you have a baseball squad that's still playing.
You know, I'm going to be incorrigible here because if the Indians do happen to win, that'll be two championships here in Cleveland, and I think maybe people are just going to need to either mute me or just completely unfollow me because I'm going to turn into that guy.
You're allowed. You're completely allowed. You follow the Browns, and we're going to be talking about the Browns in a minute, and you're allowed. And I have to say, I wasn't. In my lifetime, I haven't always been the biggest LeBron James fan, but I'm becoming a fan.
He's kind of turning into the old man, and he just kind of says and does the right thing, and you never hear about him late at night, and it's just I don't know. Unless he does a really good job of paying people off not to spread things around about him, you don't really hear much about him. So He brought a title. I don't care who he supports or who he supports, what he does during the national anthem. Couldn't care less. We are raising a championship banner in Cleveland, so all is well.
Well, he does seem to be good in the community too, and he's giving back and doing those things too, and that's I like to see guys do that.
Yeah, always a good thing.
And he clearly should have been nominated for an Academy Award for his work on Trainwreck, because that's it's like my favorite part of the movie. Quality stuff. So we have to say hello. We haven't said hello officially to Sharona. I hear you were drinking wine tonight. Is it National Thursday Night Wine Night?
I am. In fact, I'll have to tweet out the beer. I've got a big, huge, it's called Arrogant Bastard, I think. Big ale. But I just wasn't up to it. So I'm drinking a red blend. It's a Three Thieves red blend. It's nice. It's a nice sipping wine, and drinking it in my Love the Wine You're With stemless wine glass.
Clearly. And Mike's drinking some quality Lake Erie water.
I'm drinking water. Yes.
This guy is professional. It's a game night, by the way. There's actually a game happening.
Right behind me.
Chargers, Broncos. I got C.J. Anderson in a couple of leagues, and it's like almost this is his last shot, so we'll see. But we do apologize, Mike. I know of all our potential guests. You understand our need to talk about a rare Titans win and whether it may continue not to be rare. So, first of all, hashtag erotic smash mouth is real. DeMarco Murray is beast. And I only, since I watched kind of the Sunday ticket, I have a friend who got the NFL pass, but we just watched the Red Zone. I mean, you could have just gotten the Red Zone. So the Titans not in the Red Zone a ton, so I didn't get to see the game. So I saw like the 10-minute version of it. But basically, Marcus Mariota didn't turn the ball over, and every time he ran out of bounds because he's fast, but he's not really elusive in the open field. And he completed passes of over 20 yards. Sharona, I said like 8 good things about the Titans in a row. Is there something wrong? I'm only 1 year in. So I don't know. Do you believe this? Are you with this, or does this just mean the Dolphins are this bad?
Are you asking me?
Yeah. Well, we'll start with you.
Well, the Dolphins are bad. Let's get that out of the way. The Dolphins are a bad football team. Their defense is worse than I expected. I really thought that their defense was going to be pretty good, and they sort of looked good in the preseason and like maybe in that first game, or at least early on. But no, it's not good. They're not good. The big thing for the Titans, of course, Marcus Mariota is only in his second year. People need to remember that, and he's struggling, had been struggling, just like a lot of young quarterbacks in their second year starting, whether they're true sophomores or just like Tyrod Taylor in his second year starting. And what was important for the Titans is that they overall protected him very well. He protected the football. They jumped up and got an early lead, and in the second half, to play their defense a little bit better and really kind of tee up on Ryan Tannehill and his bad offensive line. And so that I think that, in a nutshell, is why they won.
Well, I've been trying the streaming defense thing, and I, of course, like many people, the second time this year, streamed the Dolphins' defense because Jennifer Eakins wouldn't, outbid me for them this week. And luckily, I got the punt return touchdown. It was fine that the Titans cut their special teams coach, and then they gave up another punt return touchdown. Although that was a really good punt return.
Yeah.
The little dude in Texas Tech, he put it together. And the defense, the Titans' defense has been really good. And you had 3 guys with 2 sacks. When's the last time that happened?
I'm streaming them. I'm streaming the Titans' defense this week. May not want to hear that, but
hey, if they're going to win you a game or make you some money, I am all for it. I think they were my top choice in my streaming article this week. So. I can't, when it comes to fantasy, I have to check my allegiances at the door. And this season, it's been very easy to do that.
Yeah, so after, the Dolphins, the Titans get the team that the Dolphins should have lost to a few weeks ago. Sorry, Mike, the Cleveland Browns. Mm-hmm. Let's set the stage a little bit for the Cleveland Browns. Here's what's happening to them just this year. They passed on Carson Wentz at 2 and traded down like a drunken person on a fire sale at a dynasty league to get 75 draft picks, which all made the team. 5 quarterbacks have played for them, which is crazy. I know they have a quarterback wide receiver guy, but still they would have had 4. Cavs, of course, won the title. You got a baseball guy who's a football guy running the show. And then week 5, of course, was the start of the Patriots' Vengeance Tour. And we'll see, because rebuilding seems to work better in baseball, just because in baseball you can trade for a lot of minor leaguers and you have, tons of draft picks. But I do, before we kind of get into the game, I feel like we need to pour one out, and maybe this will be a weekly feature. Pour one out for Tablet Jesus, Charlie Whitehurst. Played for the Browns for a quarter or two. And then he gets cut for Kevin Hogan, who was drafted by the Chiefs and let go, and who could be quarterback number 6. So, Tablet Jesus, you done good. He had a heck of a career. I'm pretty sure he was a rookie the same year as Vince Young, maybe a year before.
Hey, the Chargers are about to score. And, I'm kind of surprised. I sat a lot of my Charger players tonight.
I have to say, I know things have been bad for the Browns, so they're expected to be Brown. I have a coworker who's a Chargers fan. I just mentioned the team to him, and he just put his head in his hands because they showed in the NFL that teams in the league that have had the lead for the most amount of time this year, the Chargers are number 1, and they've lost all but 1, 2,
mm-hmm.
3.
It's that pesky fourth quarter that gets in the way.
Yeah, their fourth quarters are not pretty.
If they play 50 minutes, they're undefeated.
It's like 57 in some cases.
Yeah.
So this weekend, Nashville, I will be at the game. My dad's already traumatized and given up his ticket, so I will be at the game with my mom. So somebody's coming out of this game with a winning streak. Either the Browns win their 3rd in a row against the Titans, or the Titans win their 2nd in a row. So how are we feeling about it? I think I know how Mike feels about his team, but how do you feel about your team this week?
Well, I think I saw you say something that you think the Titans are going to lose, or that the Browns are going to win. I think the Browns are going to lose, so we might have to have some sort of reverse wager where I think the Titans are going to win and you think the Browns are going to lose. So, no, I don't see – honestly, I don't see the Browns winning this game. I don't. Starting with the offense, outside of Terrell Pryor, there's not really – they don't really have a whole lot of playmakers. Gary Barnidge, who was last season's big offensive superstar, is no longer that, as he's been basically called in as another tackle because the right side of our offensive line has been a patchwork since the powers that be decided to let Mitchell Schwartz go. And so you've had guys rotating in and out. John Greco has been playing center. Alvin Bailey and Austin Pastor have been playing the right side and getting abused. Cody Kessler is going to be starting quarterback, which I don't have a problem with because I don't get where people are saying Josh McCown gives the Browns the best chance to win, because every time Josh McCown gets kind of close to maybe winning, he throws a really bad pass and costs us the game. The last game he played against Baltimore, he threw into quadruple coverage and threw an interception. So I know Tennessee has a really good defense, a much improved run defense, so I could see them selling out to stop Isaiah Crowell, much like the Patriots did last week. Brian Arakpo is getting sacks again. Derek Morgan is good at the rush. And Jarrell Casey is going to do very terrible things to the left side of our defensive line because we lost Joel Bitonio and our starting center really stinks. So I see Joe Thomas, if he plays, he's probably going to be focusing on Arakpo, leaving, like I said, Jarrell Casey to just go ham. And I could see Casey getting having a multi-sack game.
Yeah, I'm excited for him this weekend.
I don't think the secondary is going to be tested as much. You know, Jason McCourty's been improved. The safety play has been up and down. I don't see it very. You know, I can see Mariota having a rushing touchdown. DeMarco Murray is going to have a big game. So I think Tennessee is going to win this one. I think it's going to probably be. If I were to say a score, I'm probably going to say 24, maybe 14.
Okay.
No Ray Horton revenge game?
No Ray Horton revenge game. I don't see it. We just don't. There's not. I don't know. There's
not enough horses.
There's a few guys. There's a few guys that are playing good football, but Carl Nassib is a little dinged up, and you also have a good offensive line. You have two really good tackles, so I don't see them providing much resistance in the way of getting in the way of a Titans win.
Yeah.
Well, who's the punt returner for the Browns? Just, could it be through the row? Is that Gabriel? Who do they have?
No.
I feel like they had four little receivers for a while.
Andrew Hawkins.
I think maybe Hawkins is returning, but no, Gabriel I think he's no longer on the.
Those are the Falcons, I think. Yeah, I was off on that.
Yep. So, I will probably be once kickoff starts. I'll probably be outside doing yard work until the Indians game comes on. And the thing is, I knew what the season was going to be. It's not like I'm being disappointed. I came in with absolutely no expectations. I even thought the Browns weren't going to win a game. So this is pretty much going exactly as I planned, or as I thought it was going to go. The injuries are coming a little quicker, but the season's going exactly as I kind of thought it was going to go.
So in terms of fantasy, is it a good idea to keep Crowell on the bench after his bad performance last week?
I think you could still play Crowell. I mean, he's still one of the NFL's leading rushers, and he's still going to see I think he's still going to see a ton of carries for him to be useful in fantasy. So I think you still have to start him unless you have really good options at running back. I would still start Terrell Pryor. If the Browns can kind of move him along and get him on Parrish Cox's side of the field, then I think they can take advantage of that matchup. So I still think Pryor is startable.
I'm still playing Gary Barnidge in Scotty Fishbowl because my tight end situation is like that.
Yeah, that's a rough league. I think I lost, but I'm still in the top 100. But I'm still looking at my team and just being like, this is not a sustainable team, and I don't know what to expect for the rest of the season.
In fact,
And I think I lost out on. I bid $40 on Cameron Meredith, and I got beat out on my bid.
Yeah, I bid on him too. That was getting ready, but I didn't bid that much. I didn't have that much for one thing. I'm pretty sure because I didn't get email. I don't know who got him. I need to go look, but I think I only bid like $5, so it was like okay.
Yeah, I think I spent like $77 on Dak Prescott week 1 because my quarterback 3, or even I think my quarterback 2 was Blaine Gabbert. So that was money well spent.
Yeah,
all those Blaine
I had to spend a lot on Hoyer.
Going down the turlet.
Yeah, I had to spend a lot on Hoyer because I think Palmer was in danger of missing, and my third quarterback is Jared Goff, so that tells you right there what my quarterback situation. Although Tyrod Taylor, I've got Taylor and Palmer, but I had to get another quarterback, and I think I spent quite a bit on getting Hoyer. Yeah,
we all took a ride in the Goff train this year. Yeah, I'm actually. It's weird. Like with the Scott Fish Bowl, I was winning these low-scoring games, and then last week I got like 190. I beat Liz Loza of Yahoo, haha, in your face. And in the ladies division too, the Jennifer Aniston division. So it's going okay. Yeah, but it's almost like in the Scott Fish Bowl, it's not quite like a best ball, but it sort of is because there's like nothing on the waiver wire. There's a little bit.
There's a little bit.
I think Tyrell Williams and Dak were the two guys I spent money on. I have like $10 left for the rest of the year, but that's life in the fast lane, as they say. So this is something random. I don't know if two of you have like NFL Network like on demand, but they have those little 10-minute versions of the game.
Mm-hmm.
I try to watch them all every week, and I don't quite make it through. But one of my favorite parts is how they show only 10 minutes of the game. They show maybe 20 plays total. And every week with the Titans, they show a 5-yard Mark Mariani punt return every time. And I just love seeing that. Hey, he's not making mistakes, right?
Well,
that's right.
I mean,
to talk about.
Zach likes to hate.
Take the bait. It was like, we're not even 20 minutes in, and the first hater comment. Huh? It's impressive. I've done well tonight. I've done good.
You laugh, but I'll never forget. I mean, they've had some really terrible returners.
Well, since his Pro Bowl year, I think maybe they had one return touchdown. No one returns kickoffs anymore, so that kind of ruins it. Poor Mariani. I mean, he was a 7th-round rookie, Pro Bowler, and then they moved the kickoffs back up 5 yards, and the next year he went from like 60 kick returns to like 20. I mean, there's not much you're going to be able to do with that. So, Sharona, are you doing okay after your loss in the League of Laws last week? We got
that was a tough loss. I felt that one. That was hard, but I'm still 3-2 over 500. I only I don't really kind of count my MFL, so I think I placed 4th in our MFL 25, and I haven't had a chance to look at our going for 2 auction league, and I won everywhere else except that Yahoo league, and that one I got spanked hard in it. So. And I was doing so well. That was hard.
I'm actually pretty sure in the League of Laws, because week 1 when I beat you, I scored 200. I led the league in points, and you were like 3rd, and I beat you by 80.
I'm scoring a lot of points.
And then when we lost to Chuck this week, my friend Chuck, who I beat 2 weeks ago, I think he led the league in scoring. This is random fantasy nonsense, but like in the past 3 weeks in the League of Laws, I've scored 121.62, 121.82, and 121.92. Like, it's almost impossible to be that consistently mediocre. But I have managed to win 2 out of those 3 in like 2-point victories. But this week at like 12:55, I was trying to decide, do I start Martellus Bennett or Rob Gronkowski?
Oh, no.
And I usually spit the bit and blow this, and I started Bennett. And, like, on that first drive, Gronk had, like, 2 big catches. I'm like, God, what a dumbass. I really just started both of them, to be honest. I started Crowell, who did nothing. But when he scored 3 touchdowns, I was like, yeah, okay, this was fun, yeah.
Yeah, I started him in DFS, and I did FanDuel and DraftKings. I need to go and check. I won 2 weeks in a row in FanDuel.
Nice, yeah. In one of my leagues, in you know how in my fantasy league it'll tell you, oh, you shouldn't have started this guy, and they give you the red arrows down and the green arrows up. And yeah, one of my leagues, I had way too many green arrows pointing up on my bench, so not a good time. The first time I decided to bench Theo Riddick, and I ended up losing. So,
well,
what are you gonna do?
I've in one of my leagues, and it's a league I'm struggling in. Like, I have a lot of young wide receivers like Nuke and Amari Cooper and who else? I think I have Allen Robinson in that league, and I have old ass Larry and I've got old ass Larry Fitzgerald, and of course I'm playing the younger guys, and they're sucking it up. And finally, I'm like, quit being stupid, play Larry, and so because I mean, like, he's scoring a buttload of points, and so I ain't sitting Larry no more.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure half of my scoring.
I'm like, I have Jamison Crowder. Let me tell you guys,
return touchdowns.
I've been trying to trade for, because my running back situation is woof. I've been trying to trade.
Everybody's is. Like last week, I started C.J. Anderson, Frank Gore, and Crowell, and I think between the 3 of them, they scored like 15 points. I mean, it was just running back is death this year. But this is my Quasimodo quad. That's what I'm finishing the evening on before we get to football. Look at this. I mean, just make sure there's
dark. That is dark.
All right, I've got
it's
DeAndre. Odell Beckham Jr.
Oh.
Yeah, right. I mean, I've got DeAndre Hopkins, Odell Beckham Jr., and Larry Fitzgerald's now in my lineup. Amari Cooper, Jamison Crowder, and I have picked up Tyrell Williams as well.
Now, wasn't Odell Beckham making up with the kicking net, like the feel-good moment of the weekend? I mean, that was good stuff.
Yeah.
Because this is like the 3rd or 4th game
that's lifetime television.
Everybody was like,
Zach Brown didn't practice today?
Yeah, watch yourself. IDP.
Oh, he did. He returned to practice today. Never mind.
Okay. Mike, you're doing the strong work.
That Wednesday's practice.
Because, like, IDP is just so... It's so hard to keep track of. Like, guys get hurt all the time, you get demoted, and then you get position switches.
Ooh.
It's just...
Yep.
Whoa, I won big last week. I won $25 last week.
Cash money, see? You can buy, like, case of wine, right? $2 jug.
Yeah, it can be frustrating because, people are announced as starters, but they're starters in name only.
Okay.
Where they only play in maybe 10 or 15 snaps because they're not involved in the sub packages. They're not involved in nickel. They're only involved in base. And maybe a team only runs base maybe 10% of the game, and that renders him useless. So it can definitely be, definitely hard to keep up. If you get frustrated easily. But it's the only way I really know how to play. So I have, I'm always trying to keep up with everything as much as possible, trying to delve into snaps and see what people are doing. The coach's film really helps on the Game Pass also, kind of seeing where people are lining up and seeing when people are leaving the field. So trying to watch that as well.
You kind of have to mix and match on safeties, and like I had Honey Badger and I was feeling good about it, and then like he's playing a deep safety. I'm like, come on, man, get Honey Badger in there. Like you really need you want a safety, you want that in the box guy. You don't want the free safety guy. Yeah. Basically,
well, unless you're on a bad football team.
Yeah, the free safety is basically man in the backfield, and you definitely want the strong. The Rashad Jones types, the Landon Collins types that are going to play, near the line of scrimmage, that are going to play in the box, and that are just going to, make those big hits.
And you have to know guys like the best 2013 draft pick by the Tennessee Titans. Damian Stafford, still starting a strong safety, right? I think. Although Cersei might play this week, right?
Cersei's hurt. Yeah, I haven't seen the latest on him. Kevin Byard is playing and playing well, and but Cersei's the free safety, right? Yeah.
I always thought Cersei played strong.
Okay, maybe I'm wrong. Let me look.
Had him on my radar sometimes, but no, Stafford has been kind of meh. He'll produce. I think he's got double-digit points in his last two, but he's been aided by an interception last week.
Let's see here. Yeah, he's a strong safety.
One thing
that's right. They picked up Rashad Johnson. He's the other free safety.
One thing that's kept people away from playing IDP is the fact that tackles are just whatever the team scorer does. I've heard the league's going to try to do something more official. Have you heard anything about that, or is that still go for the local scoring guys who give lots of assists?
Yeah, I think that's probably going to change. I think they're monitoring that a little bit better. They're also updating. MFL's updating also, so I think they're really trying to take a look and see, if someone, I think there was an instance a week or two ago where someone got credited for a tackle and they weren't even near the play, and so they updated the scoring and gave the proper credit to who should have received who should have gotten the tackle. So I think it should become a little bit more of an official stat, and not just left up to a stat guy or a scorekeeper up in the press box. So it might mean if it's a close game that you have to sweat it out a little bit more, but I think at least you need to be accurate with the stats. They do it for the offensive guys. I think they should also do it with the defensive guys too. Make things a little bit more official.
So anytime Ray Lewis was in 10 feet of a pile, he got credit for a tackle.
He got credit for a tackle. Yep.
Some of those really high tackle guys what was it, Zach Thomas back in the day? He had 200 tackles in a year. It was something else.
Luke Kuechly, I think, is one of the very few guys that is credited for the tackles that he makes. I mean, he just seems to be everywhere. No matter where the ball is, he just seems to be there.
So just taking one kind of random Titans player. So Avery Williamson, do you think he's hashtag good? Is he a good IDP guy? And is he someone that they should just – because he's about due for an extension if that's going to happen?
Well, I mean, for IDP, obviously tackles are king, so they don't necessarily equal a great defender. But I think for IDP purposes, Williamson has been really good this year. He doesn't leave the field. 24 solos on the year, I think 36 total tackles. So, that's really all you could ask for out of someone like that. So, I think he makes a pretty decent second or third linebacker if you're playing in deeper leagues or leagues where you're starting at least two or more linebackers. So, I think he's had 3 games of more than 11 fantasy points. Like I said, he gets the tackles and he wears the communication device and doesn't leave the field, which is really all that you're looking for out of your linebackers.
Wow, Cameron Meredith went for $85 in. Let's see. This guy's probably Dynasty. Nicholas Lombardi from Dynasty Nerds paid $85. I was trying to see. It's kind of hard to sort through and see who got what, but yeah, that's some cashola.
Do we all have free agent bucks kind of strategies? Because it seems like in Scott Fishbowl is the only league I ever did that had that. People were just dying to just throw their money away right away. Like last year, James Jones went for $100 in week 1, and I got rid of most of my money. Do you like to hold on to it, or is it really a dependent situation?
I always try to hold on to it, but I don't do a very good job of it. This year I was going to be all right, losing all my fab cost me last year because I didn't have any to get a quarterback because I got to the playoffs and I couldn't pick up a quarterback because I lost Andy Dalton and Tony Romo was my other quarterback. and I was out of fab dollars. So I'm like, all right, well, and we can't, and our first come first serve waivers cost $1. So you can't make just free moves. So if you make a move, that costs $1. So I'm like, well, can we at least remove the $1 for the first come first serve waivers? And it still gives you the strategy, because if you want the big name free agent, you have to still put in the money for it.
Yeah.
So I think it got shot down. But this year I thought, I'm like, all right, you know what? I'm not gonna go nuts. And here we are in week 6, and I have $2 left from my $100 budget.
Yeah, that's what's weird.
Yeah.
I wanted to put free agent bucks in the Yahoo League that we started, the League of Laws, which was supposed to have more laws. It only has 2. But the highest players that have been bid on so far this year, I think we have, maybe because we have big benches, but so far it's been team defenses that have been the highest. I actually bid $12. I think I bid 12 on Cameron Meredith, and I bid like 11 on Devontae Booker, and probably the second highest bid was like 2. But I still have like $54, and I have the least amount of dollars. It's really weird, because in every other league that I've heard of free agent bucks, people spend their money and let it go, and you're kind of like, well, maybe I'm hoping for a Tim Hightower kind of situation to come up later. Somebody who can help.
I went a little bit nuts at the beginning of the year. Like at the beginning of the year, I grabbed Tyrell Williams for $15. I got Leonard Williams for $15. I wasted my money on Justin March, and I got Zach Brown for $15. Picked up Quincy Enunwa for $10. Dropped Enunwa, picked Terrell Pryor for $10. And then that's when I realized, oh no, I am almost broke. So, and the bye weeks haven't really hit, and I need to save my money because I've got 2 safeties that have the same bye week. So I basically have to kind of save those final $2 to pick up 2 defensive backs or 2 safeties. But other than that, I just got to basically hope no one gets hurt, because if anybody gets hurt, I'm screwed, especially quarterback. Because I think my quarterbacks are Ryan and Palmer. So I've already dealt with a concussion with Palmer. So I just basically need to pray again that everybody stays healthy, because I won't be able to pick anybody up. And I said last year, I left a message on my board. I said, hey, if you guys lose to me without a quarterback, then I don't know what you guys suck, or something along those lines.
Yeah.
What is different being in this league, because I'm used to being in a league where you had to roster 3 quarterbacks, so no quarterbacks were available. And this week, Blake Bortles and Sharona got rid of Palmer. You get a concussion, Sharona cut your ass.
What?
There are quarterbacks available, so I picked up Blake Bortles, and I don't know, everybody's hating on him, but hey, he's scored 2 touchdowns a week except for 1. He's not getting the points de garbage like he got last year.
I was about to say, he's Mr. Garbage Time. Let Jacksonville get down early, and you can count on those third and fourth quarter long bombs to Allen Robinson and Hearns.
Yeah, that is true. Well, Sharona, I was going to make the transition to talk about your college squad, because you've had some heart attacks over them over the past 2 weeks.
Lord have mercy.
But I feel like you have one more NFL bit to cover.
Oh yeah,
we'll do the picks.
We'll do picks real quick. Right now,
I think Sharona's watching the game on TV right now.
It's right now. It's Chargers 7, Broncos nothing. In quarter 2, they've early in the second quarter. Who you got tonight, Broncos or Chargers?
I would have said Broncos.
I'm going to go quarterback wins and Trevor Siemian.
Okay, so you're going to go
Everybody's probably annoyed because they still are like, man, I have to remember how to spell that guy's name? Seriously?
Right. I know. I have 3 shares of him, but he's on my bench. I'm not taking that chance.
C.J. Anderson, Demaryius Thomas, and Emmanuel Sanders in one league, so that's not going well.
He's the only Broncos skill player that I have anywhere, unless I have him in some MFL somewhere. But I do have several Chargers. including Tyrell Williams, who we mentioned before. And I've got like 4, maybe 5 shares of Travis Benjamin. But I think the touchdown was by the Henry. Yeah.
Everybody needs a hungry hunter.
He was a popular pickup.
Dexter McCluster just got a catch. Woohoo! Ex-Titans, baby.
There you go. Hate hard, Zach. Hate hard. Okay, we're going to run through these real quick so we don't spend a whole lot of time on it. But we get them in, and I'll just shout out you guys so you can pick real quick. Eagles, Redskins, Mike.
Eagles.
All right. Zach?
Fly, Eagles, fly.
Fly, Eagles, fly. Is there any chance the Redskins can beat the Eagles?
Oh, there's always a chance, but I like the Eagles. They're playing good football.
Yeah, I think they are too. Steelers, Dolphins. I'll start with you this time, Zach. Who you got?
Despite the fact that Cecil Lampy and Simon Bloom are trying to pretend that their team's going to suck this week, I think there's no way. It's all Steelers.
Steelers. Okay, what about you, Mike?
Dolphins.
Woo!
It's because I hate Pittsburgh.
Okay, I like it.
I'm from Pittsburgh, but I understand the feeling.
I'm down with it. I'm down with it. We talked about Browns Titans.
I could have gone that way.
We
Jordan Norwood's leading the receiving with 9 yards. Oh, that's painful.
We talked about Browns Titans. We're not going to talk about that. Jaguars, Bears, Mike. Who you got?
I'm going to go with the Bears just because I picked them as my defensive streamer.
I'm streaming them too.
Bears.
Yeah, I'm streaming them too. Zach, who you got?
The Bears. Let's go, Brian. Word time.
Yeah,
Jay Cutler sitting the bench, baby. 8 figures bench. He's not okay. He's okay with that.
Since I had the Vikings defense everywhere, I'm streaming Bears in one league and Titans in another league. Bengals, Patriots. Zach, I'll start with you this time.
Patriots are just rolling. Can we get 4 touchdowns this week for Martellus Bennett?
Roll. Mike, you agree?
Yeah, Patriots this week.
Yeah, the Bengals are overrated. 49ers, Bills. Who do we have here? Mike, I'll start with you.
I'm going to go with the Buffalo Bills and Shady McCoy.
Ty God Taylor. Zach, what about you?
Could we bring back WrestleMania or something? I don't want to see Rex Ryan versus Connor Kaepernick at the 50-yard line before the game determine who wins, because that's the one. But the Bills are weird. That could be 4 in a row for the Bills. Hey, watch out, street free agent. Your team's on fire.
Maybe they did fire the right guy.
Yeah. So is it unanimous? Is it all Bills?
I think so.
All right. Ravens, Giants, Zach.
Oh my gosh. Let's see. So if a team fires a coach, that means they're going to be better. I don't know what's up with the Giants offense. But it hurts me to pick the Ravens. I'll pick the Ravens.
Okay. Mike, do you agree?
I'm going to go with the Giants at home.
Okay. All right. The Giants suck. And the Ravens are overrated, but I'm going to pick the Ravens. So it'll be very interesting to see how this game. I never got the Mark Trestman love. We talked about that last night. I did a podcast with the Gridiron Gals, and it was fun, and we talked about that. And Rita, the NFL chick, is a huge Ravens fan, and I guess.
Sorry.
Yeah. So Rams, Lions, Zach, can Jeff Fisher beat the lowly Lions?
It's funny. The Rams and the Lions are like the 2 teams that have the most ex-Titans combined, so it's not surprising they stink. So let's see Jeff Fisher head back with his pink sunglasses back to the ground. It's going to be Lions. I shouldn't be surprised that the game is 10-0 Chargers. I mean, they're always winning before the fourth quarter.
Yeah. Oh, mine hasn't updated yet.
The guy didn't choke the field goal attempt like last week.
Mike, who do you have? Rams, Lions?
I like the Lions at home.
Yeah, I'm going to pick the Lions too. And the other streaming option because I do literally have the Vikings defense everywhere, I'm streaming the Lions in one league too because of the Rams, their offensive issues and the quarterback issues there. Panthers, Saints. Boy, this is going to be some bad football. Mike, who do you have here?
Boy, I think I'm going to go with the Saints in the Dome. The Panthers' defense just is
icky,
not good at all. I don't know what happened between last year and now, but it's just not good. I think it's going to be a shootout, but I think the Saints win it.
Yeah. Okay, Zach, what about you? Who do you have?
I'll just go crazy and say Cam's coming back. Make it happen. Panthers time. Although, to have two rookie cornerbacks starting, they were like, hey, we don't.
Mike Griffin.
Oh, yeah, we forgot to mention the whole Mike Griffin. I didn't realize that they signed him. Yeah, they signed Finnegan last year, and I was kind of hoping that Finnegan, because he was that just feisty guy with the Titans, for him to win a Super Bowl ring in that last year sadly didn't happen. And Griffin probably wasn't going to win one either. So, yeah.
I think the score seriously could be like 53-49.
Yeah.
Because the Saints is just they're also a historical bad defense this year too.
Yeah, both of these defenses are bad. I'll go with the Panthers just because I think they're due one, but both of these teams are really, really, really bad. Chiefs Raiders, I think surprisingly this is going to be a good game. Who do you have in this one?
I think I'm going to go with the Chiefs in this one. They got Jamal Charles coming back.
Yeah.
Raiders are kind of meh on defense, and I don't know, just something about the Chiefs. I think I picked them as a streamer, so I got to go with my streaming picks.
What about you, Zach? Who do you have?
Well, I spent some years in Kansas City, so I'll go with the Chiefs against the Raiders. Oddly, the only team who couldn't do anything against the Raiders' defense, Tennessee Titans.
Yeah. I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Chiefs too. Make it unanimous. I think that they're in. I am a huge Alex Smith fan, and so I'm playing. He is one of my quarterbacks in the Scotty Fish Bowl, and I'm happy to have him back. I miss you, boo. All right, so Cowboys, Packers. Mike, who do you like in this one?
Packers. I think this is the week that Ezekiel Elliott gets bottled up.
Okay, all right. Zach, do you agree?
It's a weird year. The Packers are actually winning on defense. Maybe Des Bryant gets his revenge for the catch game, but I still think, I almost think it's worth it for the Cowboys to pay him 8 figures a year to wear the hoodie with no sleeves combination on the sideline because that's pretty awesome. But I'll go Packers.
I'm picking the Cowboys in this one. I think that
Cowboys.
The Cowboys are playing very well. They're playing fairly disciplined football. Dak is very protective of the football. Ezekiel Elliott, who I thankfully own in one league, is really starting to come on. And I also own some Cole Beasley shares. Woo, woo, woo. So I'm happy about that. And the Packers' offense stinks. It's awful. It's terrible. I'm picking the Cowboys. All right, Falcons, Seahawks. Can the Falcons, who are doing pretty well, can they go into Seattle and beat the Seahawks, Zach?
Yeah, they've actually done some good things. Nobody picked them to win last week. And it was all that Tevin Coleman. He's got the sickle cell trait. They thought he was going to play. Then he ended up having like 700 yards of offense. So I think this is the week that Seattle, especially coming off a bye week and at home, and you're going to watch all those fans wearing those ugly, god-awful green jerseys you're going to see on Thursday Night Color Rush. They're going to have a good time. Kristen Michael's going to eat, all that good stuff.
All right, so I assume you're picking the Seahawks.
Yes.
Okay. Mike?
Yeah, I'm going with the Seahawks. I think the one thing I'll definitely be interested it's been noted and reported that Richard Sherman is going to be shadowing this week, so he will be covering Julio Jones for the majority of the game. So that will definitely be it'll be definitely an interesting matchup to watch. Yeah. Seahawks run defense is still really good, and it's just a loud place and just a tough place to win. Yeah, so I'm gonna go Seahawks.
Yeah, I'll make it unanimous. I think the Seahawks are going to win, too, and it is legitimately one of the few places left that you do have a home field advantage like that. I completely agree. Speaking of bad football, Colts, Texans, woof, woof, woof. Mike, who do you have in this one?
I'm going to go with the Texans. I think this is going to be a good Lamar Miller week, and I think it's going to be a good week for the Texans offense. For Hopkins and Miller, I think they kind of get things going against Indianapolis. Indianapolis doesn't have much of a pass rush, one of the lowest pressure rates in the league. I don't think Vontae Davis has been all that great this year either, so I think this is definitely a week that Houston's offense will will come and come to play this week.
Zach?
Yeah, Jadeveon Clowney's actually playing pretty well, and at home they'll be much better. When they play really good teams, they suck, and against the AFC South, they could just go 6-0 and probably take the division. So we'll get that, and the Lamar Miller touchdown drought will come to an end.
Mm-hmm.
I hear what y'all are saying, and it makes so much sense. But I'm going to pick the Colts because I want it to happen, even though they suck hard. And but Andrew Luck is still Andrew Luck, and I still believe. Hopefully, please do it, please, Andy, help me out here. All right, final game of the week: Jets Cardinals. How many points are going to be scored in this one, Mike?
I think the Cardinals are gonna win this one, and I think they're just gonna blow the doors off the Jets. I think it's I don't know. I think the Cardinals win by more than double digits.
I was so surprised, shocked, but happy that I was able to pick up John Brown off of waivers.
And I'm playing. What kind of league are you in?
I know, right? It's weird. I was like, is he out there? Okay, because who did I have? I had somebody that went on IR. It might have been Charles Sims. And so, yeah. Zach, who do you have?
I think Carson Palmer will do just fine. Eric Decker, who everybody was like, draft him, and of course he gets hurt this year after having like 10 years in a row of consistent play. He is ruined for Fitz magic. I think it's going to be Cardinals. And hey, Marcus Golden, Missouri product right there, starting to play real well for them.
I'll make it unanimous.
DLU.
Yep. All right, that's it for the week.
I'm actually happy that Trevor Siemian just threw an incomplete pass for Demaryius Thomas just to prove that he's on the field. So the leading receiver for the Denver Broncos is Jordan Norwood.
Oh, wow. Woo-hoo.
Jeez.
I think it's
3 catches, 21 yards, 3 targets, 8 yards rushing for C.J. Anderson.
They got a first down, but it's 11 plays for the Denver Broncos and 11 carries for Melvin Gordon so far. And Melvin Gordon,
19 yards.
It's touchdowns, but if you take away his long of 7, he's 10 for 12. So he might not be good. We're going to talk about the emotional roller coaster happening for Sharona the last 2 weeks because we weren't able to do a show last week and missed out on the crazy Tennessee-Georgia finish.
Oh.
Can you possibly cover that experience? Because Georgia scored a touchdown with 10 seconds to go.
Yes.
And then Tennessee got a Hail Mary in the last play.
Yes.
And Bush was happy.
Everybody was happy. It was they were happy all around. It was weird because, and obviously they weren't able to pull out one like that last weekend against Texas A&M. But it was weird, and I should have, and I don't have. I don't go into these games thinking, oh my God, we're going to win this, and I don't think we're going to beat Bama. We'll be playing this episode tonight on tomorrow morning's Back Talk podcast, and I sat down with a good friend of mine, Eric Evans from Roll Bama Roll, and we talked about this game, and I have no any hope whatsoever that the Tennessee Vols are going to win that one. But it was weird and you knew that it was going to be a Hail Mary, and Josh Dobbs is not known for his accuracy on long balls and blah, blah, blah. But I just knew it was going to happen, and it did, and it was awesome.
And that Texas A&M game was pretty crazy because Tennessee, I don't know what the deal is with Tennessee. Like, they don't start playing until they're down by 17 points because they were down, like, double digits to, I think, every team they had played but one this year, and that was Ohio, which they still barely beat. And the play that showed me that, like, Tennessee is on some kind of weird roll is the Texas A&M running back was running for the game-clinching touchdown, the second, like, game-clinching touchdown. And the Tennessee guy just poked the ball out at the last minute, and it was a touchback, and they were able to score. And they went to overtime, and I'm like, they got this. And then they threw the interception. But it's like they still – you got to like that in your team, a comeback kind of feel, because I got to watch the Missouri Tigers get flattened by LSU, just destroyed, demolished.
And they're down. The Vols are down like 3 or 4 of their best defensive players. Cam Sutton didn't play in that game, and Jalen Mabin Reeves and Jalen Hurd didn't play on offense. And so, they're so banged up, and they're not, even though Butch Jones has done a really good job of improving the talent level, their offensive line is still bad, and they're not particularly deep at some positions. But boy, that team does not quit. They play right down to the millisecond, and you have to give the coaching staff a lot of credit for that, and you have to give the players a lot of credit for that they do that.
I think you have to give Peyton a lot of credit because
shut up.
In the latest episode of Timeline on NFL Network, they did that thing on Peyton, and he talked to Josh Dobbs, so clearly he passed the magic on. But yeah, Mike, Alabama, that's the team that Ohio State beat in the playoff like 3 years ago. That was a total upset with Cardell Jones.
I do remember, and Ohio State will always go down as the first ever national champion of the within the playoff system.
Yeah,
they weren't supposed to get past Oregon.
Wasn't it Ohio State and Oregon like in the first basketball tournament championship and the first?
I was not sure, but
I was at some company function, and we were watching the Ohio State-Oregon game, and I'm pretty sure Ohio State turned the ball over 4 times, and they still steamrolled Oregon. Poor Mariota, he got hurt in that game, and they just could not stop them. It was a total demolish.
Yeah, I was surprised that Ohio State beat Alabama by as much as they did. I mean, that wasn't even a game from what I can remember.
It's tough to remember, but I think we have to go to it's time, Sharona. It's time for hashtag over it or hashtag nah. Let's see how you're doing into the show. Over it or nah? Cheetos.
Nah. In fact, because this is a big game, 3rd Saturday in October, baby, I bought 2 big bags of Cheetos, but I got hungry this evening, and so one bag is I had to break in a bag, but I still have 1 full bag. And you scoff, but the Rally Cheetos work. Rally Cheetos are a thing, and they work. So, I just ran out.
Over it or nah? Bama week. I'm guessing that's a nah.
Nah. No, I mean, it's one of the rivalry games are one of the best things about college football. And I was so upset several years ago when they were talking about getting rid of this game. And I was like, if they get rid of this game, I'm done with college football because it was a terrible idea. Unfortunately, they came to their senses. And so, yeah.
So, over it or nah, 2016.
Over it. Completely and utterly over it. I cannot wait for the month of November to be over and the election to be over, and hopefully this country isn't dumb, but we'll see.
Yeah, people have lost money going the other way on that one. Over it or not, the Ryan brothers. Wonder Twin Powers.
That's a hard one.
No, they're not actually twins, but
I'm going to reserve answer on this. Ryan, I cannot answer this question because we're only in week 6 and there's still a lot of football left. So ask me again in like week 10.
I probably won't remember. Over it or not, winning streaks. Can the Tennessee Titans have their first winning streak since 2013?
Nah, I mean, I hope so, man. I hope they win this game, They've won 2 games or what? 2 and, yeah, I mean, I hope so.
Well, all right. Real quick, what's brewing? I haven't done like the budget beers in a while, but if you want to go budget on beers, this time is a good time of year because the Sierra Nevada and Sam Adams Oktoberfest are really good, and they're like $12 for a 12-pack. So go that way. Now, Mike, have you tried the Great Lakes Oktoberfest? Because I have heard that's a quality brew.
Yeah, the Great Lakes Oktoberfest is good. A really good, good taste. I like the Sam Adams Oktoberfest. I'm a big fan of Sam Adams beers in general. And then one of the favorites, local favorites at Willoughby Brewing Company is also back the think it's the peanut butter coffee porter.
I think I would like
Peanut
that.
butter cup coffee porter.
That sounds yummy.
And that's really good. It's really good. So, but yeah, the Oktoberfests are really good. And then in just a little under a month, it'll be Christmas sale time here in Cleveland, which is always an event. People line up around the corner at the brewery to get their hands on the first batches.
Is that the Great Lakes Brewery?
Yep. Yeah, the Great Lakes Christmas Ale.
Because Jody Smith, who is Gridiron Experts, he gets really excited about the St. Arnold's. They have an Oktoberfest. He sent me like 3 years of that one year, and that was hey, it's a pumpkin beer, but it's like a porter. It's very dark. It exceeded expectations big time. So that was a good one. So yeah, you need to know your seasonals. Like you get excited because you know a certain brewery, like Trader Joe's does. It's from Unibrow. It's a Canadian brewery, but they do their vintage ale, and it's like $6 a bomber. I have 2014. I have 2015. I might go for my first vertical ever. Or 2016 should be coming out shortly, and that'll be delicious. So yeah, it's a good time of year because the darker beers rule. Although they do the coffee, and I'm not a big coffee guy, but
I love coffee.
Types of beer for everybody.
I love coffee stouts. They're so good.
They're warm in your belly.
They are
We have the last. Melvin Gordon up the middle for 1 yard. What a surprise!
Shut up! I love Melvin Gordon.
I had a lot of leagues where I went like Gordon in the 6th and Frank Gore in the 7th, and Frank Gore's been like a very perfect like 7th round pick. It's like if he gets a touchdown, he's good. If he doesn't, he goes for 12 for 60 or 14 for 70. That's just kind of the way it is. But
1260 touchdown, pretty much what you can count on from Gore every week.
If you get it, you get it. It's nice.
Yep.
Man, it's sad to see. I don't know. I still actually the orange for the Broncos. That's the orange crush. That's good. But the whole pajama uniform where they wear the same color all the way through, that's just not. It's not my thing. I'm not sure. Are you a fan of that? Do you like UT going all orange all the way?
Yeah, I do. And I actually like the UT Stormtrooper uniforms. I don't like the Titans. Never win when they wear all white. And dear God, let's hope they don't do that this weekend.
Well, they wore the light blue and white pants last week, and it worked out pretty well. We'll see. They actually had it lined up to beat the Vikings, who have become a really good team in week 1. They just had all those turnovers in the third quarter. Otherwise, they might have pulled it off, and that would have been a pretty impressive victory. So, but it's been a pretty darn impressive show. So, Mike, I would say thank you for being around again. Tell people where they can find you and all that good stuff. And where will you be during Browns Apocalypse this weekend?
He's going to be outside doing yard work.
Be outside doing yard work. 4for4.com. Right here, 4for4. You can follow me on Twitter at Mike_Wohlert, WOELLERT, team_. And hope everybody has a good week.
Thanks again, Mike.
Sounds awesome. And sure, I know what you're up to.
Well,
your 12 articles and 15 shows and all that usual stuff.
Back Talk is back in the morning with this audio. And again, my talk with Eric Evans of Roll Bama Roll. And we also talk about the Yahoo security breach and internet security and the lawsuit that was filed against Marissa Mayer at Yahoo. And so that should be fun. So, yeah, follow me on Twitter at Sports by Sharona.
Sharona covers all the bases, and she is way more than 100,000 tweets ahead of me. And I have 76,000. It's pretty crazy. I haven't been doing as much fantasy stuff on my site as before, but I did an article recently where I tried like 5 different sours, and I've been on a sour kick lately in terms of beer, and it's quite tasty, so I'll be doing that. And I will be in Nashville this weekend, so Titans, Browns, for better or worse. Hope I'll be hanging out with Gunnels, drinking a few beers for the game. Perhaps my mom, maybe she'll get a little white wine.
There you go.
That's her style. So thank you, Mike, for being on the show.
Absolutely.
I just hope you're not indoctrinating your kids into the religion of the Browns, but, you do what you have to. And Sharona, thanks again for...
No, only the winners. Only the winners so far.
Good call. I hope it's...
I told them they're lucky. I actually did tell them that they're lucky that, I've got an 11-year-old and a 8-year-old, and they've already witnessed a championship team in their short lives. I had to wait almost 39 years for my first, so they're already well ahead of the game.
I was guessing it was like, oh, you kids these days, your iPads and your championships, you don't know what it's like.
Yeah.
But thanks again, Sharona, and I know it's going to be a lot of work editing out all of my audio for the segment later. And so thanks everybody for listening, watching. Dawn, if you're still awake, we'll be drinking together again in a few weeks. So thanks again, and as we like to finish off, kiss my grits, and I'm out of beer.